Hello you wonderful people and Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Lots of people make New Year's resolutions. Of course you do. I personally don't, to be honest. However, if you are one of these people, you made a New Year's resolution, you're going to save money, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Here's a technique to try and stick with it. Now, what I'm proposing is that you start off by writing down exactly what you want the end goal to be. Even if it sounds unrealistic, like you want to be making all your own bread, making all your own lunchbox snacks for the kids, you want to know you're with the cheapest power company, you're using your power efficiently, all the stuff that, you know, in an ideal world, living the life, this is what you want to have achieved. You're not going to achieve that all in a day. And if you try to, you're going to burn out. Even if we start with just looking at the food aspect. So you want to cut down your grocery shopping, get a bit more into baking. Choose one thing to work on. And even if it's making your own bread, don't aim to make all of your bread for the whole week. Depends how much bread you go through, but you're going to get over it really quick. So here's the thing. Week 1, choose one thing. Bread. Okay, make one loaf of bread. Don't go out and do your grocery shopping, don't buy any bread, but buy up a whole aisle's worth of flour and yeast. That's not going to happen, is it? So make one loaf of bread and use store-bought for the rest of the week. You can write down exactly what you have done. That's the other way of doing this actually. Either write down what you want to achieve or write things down as you do them, or do a bit of both. Second week, make 2 loaves of bread, or make a loaf of bread and a batch of muffins for the lunch boxes. You know, and then you can just slowly, week by week, replace what you're doing with what you're making. That way, it's not overwhelming. You get used to it little bit by little bit. Aim to do some meal prepping. Sure, spend an afternoon making some meals. Put them in your freezer. That way you can cut back on your takeaways. That could be another thing. Aim to get a few really easy recipes under your belt to cut down on takeaways. So that can be 1 week's goal. You know, if you find you're getting takeaways 2 or 3 nights a week, try and cut that down to 1 or 2 nights a week. One of those nights, even if it's just something simple, like my version of getting takeaways, I kid you not, is actually buying a loaf of bread and having sausages and bread for dinner. 1 week, instead of buying a packet of crackers, make a batch of crackers. Same with bickies, same with muesli bars, but the idea is keep going with it. So keep on making that 1 loaf of bread and add to it 2 loaves of bread plus the crackers, whatever. And bit by bit, you will get used to it and it will make it so much easier to stick to. Now, of course, there's things other than baking. Things like, well, buying coffees when you're out and about. That's another food-related thing, I suppose, drink. Commit to bringing a to-go cup of coffee with you when you go out. If you need to buy a secondary cup of coffee during the workday, whatever, buy that secondary one. But the first one, you always bring a to-go cup. If you're in the habit of going to work and buying your lunch every day, at least just 1 day a week, commit to making your lunch, maybe with that lovely homemade loaf of bread you just made. So you get the idea, just one thing at a time. Don't say I'm never buying lunch again, don't say I'm never buying coffee out again. One thing per week, and write it down. Write down what you've done, because then you'll get a wee sense of achievement when you look at the list. Other things that you can do is things like think about Christmas next year. If you haven't opened a savings account, if you don't have an account or a way of paying for Christmas at the end of the year, open an account specific to Christmas, because you always overspend, whether it's trips away, whether it's on food, whether it's on presents, you always overspend. So if you've got an account just with Christmas savings in, and commit to putting even if it's just $1 a week in that account. Of course, 52 weeks in a year, if you put $1 a week in, you're going to have $52 at the end of the year. If you can up that to like $5 a week, you're going to have $260 there, you know, to spend on the extra food or a wee getaway or presents or whatever. But that's quite a big thing, having $260 there at the end of the year that you can access and utilise. And that's something that I do. I've got a separate account purely for Christmas, and I put a set amount in there each week, and it really takes the pressure off. So that can be one of your weekly things, just setting up that account. That's your task for that week. The next week, if you're not up for adding to your baking list or whatever, make it your mission to ring around power companies. Make sure you're on the cheapest plan. Ring your own power company, tell them you're ringing around. They might be able to help you out a bit as well. The next week, do the same with your phone and internet. You know, just make sure you're on the cheapest plan and write down that you've done that. If you get on a cheaper plan, then yay, awesome. If not, you know you're on the cheapest plan for you anyway. But you can save a lot of money doing that, and it's another couple of weeks that you can tick off something that you've done. Another idea for New Year's resolutions is if you need new clothes, second-hand. Not always doable, but generally you go to second-hand places. You can often find things for about half the price, and there's sometimes better quality. It's amazing how many people go away on holiday or something and they buy new clothes and just donate their second-hand clothes, you know, to second-hand places like St. John's, Salvation Army, all that sort of thing, SPCA op shop. You can pick up some really good finds there, and for just a fraction of the price. So I did a whole video on that, in fact, when we went to Queenstown for a weekend and my husband left my bag at home. I'll link that one down below. But yeah, so that is always worth doing. Sometimes you can't find what you need there, that's fine, but that can be a thing to add to your list of things. Just whenever you need something new, try the second-hand places first. On the subject of clothes, mending your clothes. Now, if you're great with a needle and thread, or you're handy with a sewing machine, awesome. If you're like me and you're not quite that handy, even if you just, you know, you sew up a hole in the knee of something, patch it up, and it's just for wearing at home, even if something like that, you can prolong the life of things, all good. Reviewing your subscriptions, make that your thing for 1 week. Review your subscriptions, things like Netflix, your gym memberships, you know, anything you might subscribe to, that any apps that you might pay for maybe, things that you might find you don't need. That can be another little thing to tick off your list. You're getting into the swing of things here, you're doing things week by week. Next week, look at creating a budget. If you don't do already, spend the week writing down everything you're actually spending money on. You know, I did a whole video again on setting up your household budget and how you actually work it all out, but it's definitely worth doing. It is really, really worth knowing exactly what's coming in, why it's coming in, and you can use that to look at what you're spending, where it's going, and where you can save money. A lot of people aspire to grow their own veggies. Make that 1 week thing. Start of the week, say, right, this week I'm going to buy some seeds. Going to get some seeds in the ground. It's not that hard. You don't have to have big raised veggie patches like I do. You can plant seedlings in a bucket. You just need a tub of something, or just plant them straight in the soil, depending on what your place is like. It's quite easy to get started planting a garden. It's cheaper to buy seeds than seedlings, but whatever. Sometimes seedlings is quite good because you get a sense of immediate achievement because you can see them there. Another thing to think about swapping out is if you're one of these people who shops for food sporadically, try and make it more a habit to shop for food for a week. You know, plan a week's worth of dinners, maybe allow yourself a cheat night if you're one for getting takeaways. Stick to a list, make a meal plan. That can be your mission for one of the weeks. If you need to buy a book, instead, think about going to the library. You know, go to the library. They've got also Canopy, I believe is what they call the subscription service for movies and stuff. You can view movies online via your library, completely free service. Of course, you can borrow books and magazines completely for free. So if you can avoid buying books and just go to the library instead, great option, money saved, tick off that week, that's an achievement. One thing to look at doing as well, this can be a thing, you can tick this off for the week, is actually buy things that you don't immediately need. Sounds counterproductive, but buy things in the off season. I'm talking things like buying wrapping paper now for next Christmas, buying Christmas trees and decorations for next Christmas, because they'll be going super cheap at the moment. And if you know you're going to need it, now's the time to buy it for next year, and your future self will thank you. I'm pretty big on doing things that my future self will thank me for. Another thing in the way of food savings is also consider making it a habit. If you eat meat every night, do the odd meat-free night. You know, you don't have to go full vegetarian or vegan or whatever. I quite often make dinners that don't involve meat, incorporate beans, lentils, pasta, rice. You know, you can easily get different kinds of proteins in there, eggs, cheese. It's a fraction of the cost. Get pulses, lentils, all that sort of thing. Really good for you, and you can come across some really interesting recipes, even stretching things out like mince, adding things to it. So if you do eat meat every night, that's all good, but consider making a commitment to having at least one meat-free night a week. That will definitely save you some money. One thing ticked off the list. Making your own cleaning products. Things like, instead of buying Windowline, spray and wipe, all that sort of thing, you can easily make your own cleaning products. White vinegar, water, sometimes a splash of washing up liquid into the mix, shake it up. That will clean many things. That's what I use to mop my floors with. It's what I use to spray and clean the mirrors, clean the bathroom sinks with. Does a great job, fraction of the cost of buying it. So that's another thing you can think of doing one week. Give it a go, make your own cleaning stuff. If you find you've got a lot of clutter around the place, one thing to do one week is have a big garage sale or trade me or marketplace session. Gather up things that are still in good condition that you know you don't need. You might make a bit of money on the side selling a few things. You know, whoever buys it will get a bargain buying cheaper. You'll get a few extra dollars in the pocket selling your unwanted items. So, of course, when I was doing this video, you know, I tend to talk to my family about ideas. I made the mistake of asking my kids what their one piece of advice to people wanting to come up with New Year's resolutions. If they wanted to save some money, what could they do? Aston, my youngest, says don't eat. I don't know if, he's still laughing about that one. I don't know if you want to follow that. I would recommend not, if you want to see the rest of the year out. My other daughter, Samantha, she said to follow the Cheaper Ways NZ YouTube channel. Shameless plug on her part. I like it. My eldest daughter, Olivia, she said get chickens, and I said, well, yeah, it's good for eggs, but I'm not sure if in the long run that's actually cheaper, depending on the chook food and all that. And she said, no, Mum, it's cheaper than therapy. So there we go, get chickens, it's cheaper than therapy. Chickens, I have absolutely gone out there and hugged a chicken instead of going to a therapy session. So anyway, that's from my kids. I'm hoping this was of a bit of inspiration. This was just a bit of a fun one to say, hey, Happy New Year, guys. Absolutely. Leave me comments down below if you want to hit me up about any of that. I'll link any relevant videos under here in the description that may fit in loosely with what I've said. But there we go. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Make your list, see what you can do week by week. Don't be hard on yourself if you don't achieve everything in a week. You know, that's basically what I'm saying. If you want to do something, You want to keep up the momentum little bit by little bit. You know, don't try and overwhelm yourself with it. So that's certainly what I've done. I just do things bit by bit. Every now and then I'll add another recipe to my repertoire. I'll just add something else around the land that I'm doing. Sometimes it saves me money, sometimes it's more a hindrance than a help. But, you know, trial and error. So, hit subscribe, hit like, leave me a comment, let me know what you're doing, let me know what your New Year's resolutions are, and happy 2026. Well, I hope it treats you well. Bye.